Alright, you want to practice the whole coming in and everything?
Yep. Yeah. Nice one. A little dress rehearsal.
Big one.
Minus the dress.
You want to be Fox? Yeah. Alright, Sarah is Fox this time. That's just like my entire goal, is to be him.
Rich, successful, immortal.
Hello. Rich, successful, immortal?
Immortal.
Oh.
She's not gonna die, right?
Oh,
That was
yeah,
established earlier.
right. Right.
It's okay.
Immortal. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Juan Casas. I'm the founder of Empowered Prosthetic.
Hi, I'm Austin.
Nice to meet you.
Jeremy, nice to meet you.
Hi, Roman. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
So we are Empowered Prosthetics. The four of us are all UF students, and Juan last summer founded the organization so that we could build prosthetic arms for kids. Right now our goal is to put a prosthetic arm 3D printed onto a adult amputee by the end of the spring semester. We have about 50 people involved, and we've been using plastics and electronics because all we have to do is 3D print the item. We've been using 3D printers and UF space, and we've been using student effort. And the reason we're here today is because we'd like to open the discussion between our organization, Empowered Prosthetics, which is a nonprofit, and the University of Florida, because we are using UF student effort and UF facilities to create what we create, and we'd like to discuss our relationship and how we move forward. Jeremy can tell you a little bit more about what we're doing if you don't have any immediate questions.
So basically what we're doing at Empowered Prosthetics is 3D printing functional prosthetic limbs. And what that looks like is we create the prosthetic limbs with plastics, and they're functional in that they are fitted with motors and actuators to allow them to mimic like normal biological function of how an arm is like operates in your day-to-day life. They also are fitted with EMG sensors, which basically just read electrical conductivity in existing muscles that you have, so you're able to control different grip patterns and do day-to-day activities just like somebody who isn't disabled. And they're also fitted with a force sensor, which allows it to make really precise movements in that it could, like for example, pick up an egg without breaking it. So why we started is we saw this discrepancy in the current prosthetics industry, that people can't, like everybody who needs a prosthetic can't get a prosthetic, and millions of people don't have access to prosthetic because they don't have the socioeconomic background to be able to access these prosthetic limbs. And we here at Empowered Prosthetics want to fundamentally disrupt the status quo, because currently a prosthetic limb costs upwards of $100,000, whereas we're currently manufacturing it for less than $500. And because of that discrepancy in cost, we're going to increase the accessibility of prosthetics to everyone. Currently, like children don't have the ability to get prosthetics because it's even more expensive because they're growing. So you have to create a new prosthetic limb for them, like through their stages of development. So what we hope to do is be able to give this accessibility of like a functional prosthetic to children, and have them be able to have the same degree of ability as someone with a regular arm. Also, currently, like losing an arm is it's really traumatic, and we want to change that. In that, like we want to be able to allow like people that are disabled to reintegrate into society and be able to function normally and live like a happy and fulfilling life without having the impediment of like not having an arm. So we want to make it as inconsequential as something like the common cold. Like, so look at polio, for example. It was like a devastating disease, and it was like it was affecting millions of people. Whereas with technological innovation, we were able to eradicate polio and completely change the medical climate at the time. So that's what we at Empowered Prosthetics hope to do with the prosthetics industry. We want to make prosthetics accessible to everybody, regardless of their background, and we want to make losing a limb like not that devastating as it is currently. And Robin's going to talk about how Empowered Prosthetics is going to integrate people from all different disciplines at University of Florida.
Yeah, so one of the powerful strengths of EP is that we're going to work together on campus with all levels of students but also faculty members. We would like to include them to transfer knowledge. So that means that we work on a project and we have a vision with EP to help others. But to do that, we need people with all knowledge in different fields. For example, we talk about a business major who has knowledge about how to set up an organization, how to communicate with people. We have people from multimedia design that help us to make a professional webpage, what we already have, and we're still working on improving that. But we also work with several scientists to make our product a realization, from chemical engineering to chemistry, etc. And we're still expanding more people from different disciplines to get the needs to bring EP to the next level. An example of my experience so far is when I'm advising this group is in my own research group from Dr. Joost in chemistry, is that I have two different undergrads at the moment working, and they're both, one is a pre-med student and the other is a computer science student. And science in chemistry and computer sciences is a very different language to talk about, but I can inspire her to get a project that I'm working on and build her on the same level of understanding. And she teaches me things and has critical questions that I could never come up with because she struggles with how to process the data that I have acquired. And this bridging the gap between different fields is what we also want to do and already are doing with EP, getting the knowledge from the computer and from the engineering field to the chemist to the material scientist. And that network is the strength of like EP and what we are going to build up and what ultimately UF can benefit from this learning mechanism.
And ultimately that's what's so amazing about us being able to be here in this environment. I'm a business major. I'm also tied in with all these different facets and areas, and ultimately we need a liaison, a mentor to guide us through how we fit in differently than any other organization, because we're not going to be in the starter space, we're not going to be a design team, but we are somewhere in between there, and we don't really know how to get through this. And we, every time we reach out to someone, they put us somewhere else because we are something else. So if that's ultimately why we need to talk to you of all people, and that's what we're here to ask is where should we fit in?
Cool. How many minutes was this?
8. No, 7.
Yeah,
Oh my god, guys!
was
Seriously, that
excellent.
was like
That was
so many
That was a good
phrases
one, yeah.
that each one of you used. I was like, oh yes.
Yeah, that was way better.
And I mean, maybe it goes a little bit slower, we are more nervous or whatever, and this is great. Maybe he has questions in the middle already.
Yeah, and
time
there's
to
like a lot
discuss.
more flow there. And you have a lot of time to answer questions there.
Oh my god, guys!
Yeah.
It's gonna be great tomorrow.
It's gonna be awesome.
This is gonna be good.